Welcome to our channel. Before we dive into yet another fascinating mythy, would like to invite you to watch, to like, and subscribe to the channel. Also activate the notification sound if the reason you're stuck is because you're only asking, but never giving. You are hero, are listening that means something deep inside you is searching you. Are not lost, you are being guided even when life feels heavy. There is a light leading you forward. There is a story I want to tell you, a story about a beggar, a businessman, and a truth that could change everything. Got a railway station in a busy city. A beggar sat on the ground a very day. He held out his hands to strangers, hoping for kindesum gave him coinsum. Ignored him, this was his leafy own day. He saw a tall man in a suit. Man looked rich, beggar thought. He must have a lot of money, he will help me. He walked up to the man, and beggarth man looked at him and said, "You always ask, have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar was confused, said, "I have nothing to give, that's why I ask." The man smiled, but his words were sharp. "If you cannot give, you have no right to ask." He turned and boarded the train. Beggar sat there thinking, words stuck in his mind. Maybe I don't get much because I never give. But I am just a beggar, what can I give? For 2 days, he thought about eating. The third day, he saw flowers growing nearby. Thought struck him, I can give flowers that day. When someone gave him money, he gave them a flower. Some people smiled, some thanked him, some kept the flower. Noticed something more, people gave him money bet when he ran out of flowers. Fewer people helped him own day. The tall man returned. The beggar ran to him today. "I have something to give you." He handed the man a flower. Man smiled and gave him money. "You have become a businessman." Then he walked away. Beggar looked at the flower in his hand, understood something. "I am not just a beggar, I am a businessman." He shouted at the sky. People thought he was mad, but he knew the truth. 6 months later, 2 well-dressed men stood at the station. One of them recognized, the other reached out his hand. "Do you recognize me?" The second man looked at him closely. His eyes widened. You were the beggar." The first man smiled. "Not anymore, I am a businessman now." The tall man from before was silent for a moment, then he laughed. "You understood the lesson." The former beggar nodded. "I stopped waiting for help, I started giving first." People passing by stared at him, was no longer in torn cloth, no longer sitting on the ground, no longer begging, had a small shop now selling flowers. It started with a single idea of first on receive. That is how the universe works, that is how life works, that is how life works. No listening to these. Think about your own life. You're always asking, always waiting. Do you ever give? Not just money, but Timikanessa, Smilia, helping hand. If you feel stuck, if you feel like nothing is changed, maybe you are waiting when you should be giving. Universe does not reward those who only take. It blesses those who give. Yvonne, if it's smell of on, if it's just a flower. Beggar thought he had nothing, but he had more than he knew. And so do you. Look around, what can you give today? What small thing can you share? Because when you start giving, life starts giving back. Thought is the law, thought is the truth. Let this story be your signal. Are not empty, you are not helpless, you have something to give, and when you do, you will never be the same again. The world is full of people waiting for luck, waiting for change, waiting for someone to notice them, but waiting is not the answer. Giving is. Think of the beggar believed he had nothing, thought his only option was to beg, but the moment he gave, everything changed. People saw him differently, wanted to help, wanted to give back, and that is how the universe works. Mirrors what you put out. If you give nothing, you receive nothing. You receive nothing. If you give even a little, you open the door to is not just a story. This is truth. Look at the most successful people. Did not just to Keithy. Gavathi created. Shared something valuable, and the world rewarded them. You are no different. You have something inside you, a skiller, talenta, voice, a heart that can help someone stop thinking you have nothing. Stop waiting for someone to save you. You are already holding the keys. Question is, will you use it? Think about your life right now. Were you stuck? Are you struggling? Do you feel like nothing is working? Ask yourself, what can I give? What can I offer? What can I share with the world? It doesn't have to be bidget. Doesn't have to be perfected. just has to be something, a kind word, a helping hand, a new idea. Small action beckos. Once you start, the energy shifts. People notice the opportunities appear, doors openth. Beggar became a businessman because someone gave him money, but because he gave first. What will you give? This is your momentous signal, turning points, top waiting start, giving gone. Watch your life change. You are not powerless, you are not empty, you have something inside you right now. World has convinced you to weto expecto hope for something to come, but that's not how life works. Life moves when you move, life gives when you give. A think about the beggar. For years he sat in the same place, kingaput wing twing. The moment he gave, something shifted. People noticed him differently, was no longer just a beggar, became someone who added value, and the world responded. Thought is the secret, is the truth. No one tells you if you feel like life is against you, if you feel like nothing is working. Maybe it's time to stop asking and start offering. What do you have? What can you give? You might say, I have nothing, but that's a lie. You have kindness, you have ideas, you have effort, you have time, and when you start using what you have, the world will notice. Think about the most successful people. They didn't wait, they didn't beg, they gave first, they gave their talent, they gave their energy, they gave their work, and the universe responded. Same will happen to you right now. You might be stuck, you might feel like nothing is changing, but that is only because you haven't started giving. You are not here by accident, you are here to hear this message. This is your signal. Are ready, you have what it takes. You are not a beggar, are something moreso. Stop waiting, stop asking, start giving. Gevin. If it's smallivan, if it's simplivan, if it feels like nothing at first, beckos, that small act, thought small step could change your entire life, just like it did for the beggar, just like it has 4 millions before you, and just like it will for Yono. Is your time. Start today and watch everything change. You are more powerful than you think. You are not here to struggle forever. You are here to rise, but rising starts with giving, not wishing, not hoping. Look around. Youth world rewards those who offer something, not those who sit in silence. Beggar thought he had nothing until he gave, and suddenly the world gave back. So ask yours or foot. Are you giving Are you giving excuses? Are you giving complaints? Are you giving doubt? Or are you giving effort? Are you giving love? Are you giving your best? This is the shift. This is the truth. You do not receive because you want, you receive because you give. Give energy to your dreams, give effort to your work, give kindness to the world, and watch what happens. Life is not happening to you, life is responding to you. If you give nothing, you receive nothing. Off, you give a little, you receive a little. Life, you give fully. Life opens its doors. Look at the beggar. Own flower changed his life. Own act of giving transformed everything. You have more than a flower to give. You have gifts inside. Yoa, you have power inside. Yoa, you have greatness inside. Yobot, you must use it, because waiting won't change your life. Complaining won't change your life. Doubting won't change your life. Giving will. So give your best, give your heart, give your energy, and watch life give back to you in ways you never imagined. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your senyo. More waiting, no more hoping. Start giving. Don't step into the life you were meant to liveth. Shift that changes everything. Life is not random. Anything happens by Thor are invisible laws that shape our world, and one of the greatest laws is this: you receive what you giveth. Beggar sat in the same place for years, waited, beggared, hoped, but hope is not in a eighth moment. He gave even something as small as a flower. Everything changed. People noticed him differently. A periodist life began to shift, and the same is true for you. If you keep waiting, if you keep asking, if you keep asking, if you keep hoping that life will change on its own, you will stay exactly where you are. But if you take action, if you give something, no matter how small, if you add value to the world in any way, life will respond. This is not just a story. This is the law of life. It's all. Look around. Youth, people who succeed are not the ones who wait, are the ones who giveth, are the ones who offer something down in return. Life gives back to theme. So ask yourself, what can I give? What can I share? What small thing can I do today? Because no matter how little it seems, that first step is the beginning of something greater. You have been waiting for a sinneth, is ithis. Your momentia turning points, top waiting stop, doubting stop, believing you have nothing. You have everything you need inside your eye. You have something to give, and when you start giving, you will realize something powerfully. You were never a beggar, were never empty. You were always meant for Marino Gogavirasend. Watch the world open its doors for you.